number. This is a candidate key. Determine the area. Then area determine country name. However, country name belongs to part of original of area. Okay? Like this one. So there's no new transition. So this is not the transitive. Okay? According to the definition of the third normal form. However, still area determine country name. Because this is a part of the key. So maybe slightly different meaning. Country name is different from country name plus lot number, right? So both and the code, they determine this is a redundant. So we cannot allow. So instead we need to take out. However, it's not that simple to take out. We will see. So this is when I learned this one, I remember ABC case. So AB is the prime attribute, C is the non-prime. AB determines C, C determines part of A and B, like the B. So this is a BCNF case. This is okay for the third normal form. This is third normal form, but not BCNF. Solution: segmentation. Okay. So how can we segment? Like for example, here the property ID determine area and lot number, and the area determine country name. Looks slightly different, right? It's not just to take out the area determine country name. You can see property ID determine area and lot number. Why? There's no country name here. Why? Area, since area determine country name. Area determine country name. We don't have to keep the country name inside. So it's slightly different, the segmentation. Okay, so this is a BCNF. So most of the real database design, they check up to the BCNF. Okay, so keep in mind the BCNF is used, and usually BCNF is not the easy intuitively check the redundancy. You need to check whether this is a prime or not. Okay, so this is another example of the BCNF case. It looks like the redundant information. If you take a look at this teach table, student, course, instructor, and student name is Smith over here. Instructor name is sometimes here, and the course name is several times. It's all mixed up. So for example, student course determine instructor. So if we consider student plus course as the prime attribute, determine the instructor. However, instructor determine what? So student, course, and instructor. Student determine instructor. A student plus course determine instructor. And also instructor determine course. So is this the first normal form? Yes, because it's a single attribute. Is it the second normal form? Whole key dependency. Whole key dependency. This is not a problem because starting is non-prime attribute. Third one, transitive. Is it the third normal form? Yes, it's not transitive because it determines prime attribute. There is no transition really. However, is it BCNF? No, because we consider BCNF is kind of a strict version of third normal form. It's a strict version. So we do not allow this. Solution? Separate. However, when we segment this one, there are different options. For example, this is one of the options. Student course determine instructor, and the instructor determine course. However, we can consider the other way. For example, the top one, student instructor and student course can be possible if you focus on the student. Okay? And also second is the instructor determine course. We already did. Instructor determine course, instructor and student. if you focus on the instructor. So there are different possibilities. You can select one of them. Who decide? Based on your application analysis, you can decide this one. Okay. Then, one thing I missed is the denormalization. What time is it? 12:50. 1 minute. Denormalization means what? The opposite of the normalization, right? Denormalization is the opposite of the normalization. In other words, the normalization usually regarded as what? Segmentation. Denormalization, merge, combine. Why do we need to merge? We did the segment to remove the redundant, but sometimes we need to do the denormalization, combine. Why? One example is, I segment the student, the good student, bad student, or the always the not appear, absent. So segment everywhere. So if I inform to the student, I need to visit here and there, I need to join. So if as you learn from the midterm exam, join operation is always expensive operation. It takes a time. So to reduce the time, why not combine together? Even though there exists the redundancy, we sacrifice that effort. So if you believe join operation is more expensive than taking care of redundancy, then combine all together. Okay? Then that is the denormalization. Denormalization is used for what? When? Better performance. So NoSQL database, one of the technique in the NoSQL database. NoSQL means non-relational database. No, it's additional. It's different from the not only SQL, but it's a non-relational database model. Big data usually. The goal is not the management issue. Big data main goal is how to process huge amount of data speed. So they actually merge. So denormalize. Denormalize is one of the modeling technique used in the such a big data and NoSQL database, also used in the relational model for when only performance, when you need the efficient the system, but very limitedly. Otherwise, it will be messed up. So your system. So that's the end of chapter 4. Then you need to do the homework. So homework, there are several. I think the normalization exercise. So I'm not going to explain the details in the classroom. In the homework, please solve the problem. Then I think the couple of example in the next class I will introduce. Then we will move to the query optimizer, the next class next week. Okay, any questions? Thank you, and see you next week.